Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, but has it been forever? 'Cause dying don't agree with me, no. Dying don't agree with me, no. All you board ghosts, come with me, we're going home.
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is Fantasy Flight's Age of Rebellion, a Star Wars role-playing game. We're not going to have like a comprehensive rules primer for this episode. We'll have a brief rules primer, and then I'd recommend going and getting yourself one of the beginner game sets to kind of give yourself a broader understanding of the game. It's not overly difficult, but there's a lot more rules in some of our smaller, shorter storytelling games.
This is our first foray into tons of dice rolling.
Yes, this is also our first GM'd game, and Ken is going to be our GM. Speaking of Ken, so our humble players this week, myself, John Holt,
Stacey Douglas Moverly.
Stephen Moverly.
and our DM,
You already heard mine.
our game
You
master,
already heard my voice. Game master. Star Wars master. It's me, Ken Drees. Hey, everybody.
Sith Lord.
I am not a Sith Lord. That is not true. Not true.
You should reveal that now so we kind of know if you're like against us with us.
No, I'm more of a Jedi Knight, I'd say.
If you see SL in the book, that means
That means
the
Sith
game
Lord.
master. What we're using is the base game pre-generated characters.
Yeah,
which are
yeah.
pretty comprehensive.
I bought the Age of Rebellion box set, which is really great. It comes with pre-generated characters in beautiful, colorful folios, which I have. Our players have grabbed. Do we want to talk about our characters right now, John, or do you want to wait for a second?
Sure, we can walk through our characters.
Yeah, let's
real
talk
quick.
about our characters.
My character is Tendar, who is a Mon Calamari special ops tech expert. Well, Tendar actually is on the team that is helping with creating the A-Wing fighters. He was originally an astrophysics student on his homeworld. Then it was enslaved by the Empire, and he got sort of shuttled off into a shipyard where he sort of seethed, and he had a somewhat unconventional study before that, where he's sort of an outcast, I guess, on the Mon Calamari people. But he was enslaved for a period of time, broke free, decided to join the rebellion. Is sort of prized for his unconventional thinking, and is not particularly fond of the strict social norms that the Mon Calamari people have.
The character I'm playing is Zal Artha, and she is a pilot. She's somebody who came from a land that was really more about scholars, but she was the kind of person who always wanted to be a pilot. So she was originally with the Empire for a while and kept getting these really just lame assignments of doing shuttle piloting and things like that, and comes to find out that the Empire suspects her of being part of the rebellion. So she decided to go ahead and say, well, if you guys aren't going to give me those chances, I might as well go ahead and join the rebellion. So she's actually been doing very well as far as missions and things, and she's one of the people who actually was able to try one of the new Type A fighters, but only one of two pilots who actually survived their last mission. So, but she's now been moved into special operations. But she loves being part of the rebellion.
And Zal is a human, is that right?
Yes,
That's
Zal
right.
is a human.
That's right.
Female human.
So I'm playing Kyle, or KL. I'll say KL.
KL, you like KL?
Kyle. He is a young noble, sort of living a life of leisure, doing sports, a sporty guy. And he's of a young house. He's got a fiancée. He's a nobleman. The Empire shows up, sort of around the universe. He doesn't vote for them, but, they're going to make the universe great again. And he's like,
Yep.
all right, what's the worst that could happen? The Senate will keep things in check. It'll all be fine. He's also he's a nobleman on Alderaan. So there you go.
Yeah.
So when his team is off sporting on a different planet,
He's
when
a part of the sports team.
when there was a weapons test that just so happened to impact Alderaan. Spoiler alert.
Just a wee bit.
And so
Just a
he
wee
kind of like hopped a ship and went back and checked out his home asteroid field. And something broke inside Kale, and now he is a different person than he used to be, not the
Yeah.
happy-go-lucky young nobleman ready to sort of live a life of leisure. He met up with the rebellion, who's more than happy to have a sporty, angry lad, and he's now a soldier in the rebellion, out to fight
Yeah.
the forces of Lord Sith.
Yeah. All them.
Have to take down as much
Empire.
down as
Take 'em
much
out-
of the
take 'em
empire
down
as
and out.
possible.
It's great. Those are our characters. Our adventure is called Rescue at Glare Peak. We might even have some Star Wars music going on during this.
Feel
we'll
free to
see.
play it for yourself.
Yeah, feel free to play it for yourselves. You guys have been together for a month, so you guys have been hanging out on the special ops team. You've actually been part of a sleeper cell. And I think I'm just going to read some sweet crawl text now for you. It is a time of civil war. The Rebel Alliance has scored its first major victory against the Galactic Empire by destroying the fearsome Death Star. Chased from their one secret base on Yavin 4, the top Rebel commanders are on the move, one step of their Imperial pursuers. On the planet of Trivor 2, Snowy World, a new Rebel resistance group has embedded themselves. Your latest mission has been to affix a cobbled together sensor array that Tendar has built on top of a residential tower called the Viewpoint Residential Tower. And you guys are here on top of the Viewpoint Residential Tower. Your sort of general mission has been to keep an eye on the Trivor 2 Imperial Detention Center, where you know many political prisoners have been brought from across this sector. As you guys are affixing the sensor array, you've found your way up about 25 stories onto the top of this tower. It's very snowy here on Trivor 2. You're all in inclement weather gear, so you all have furs on and that sort of stuff. Think about what characters were wearing on Hoth in Empire Strikes Back. That's sort of your look, the gear that you're wearing. And it's very cold up here. The wind is blowing, but thankfully it's not snowing. It's just overcast today. You guys, Zal and KL, are sort of on watch. You're looking out. You snuck your way into this residential tower. You don't live here. And you took a service elevator up to the top here secretly to affix the sensor array. Your work, just as it is finished, you hear the scream of ion engines as from above you in the sky, a Y-wing plunges from overhead. One wing of it is our trailing heavy smoke, and behind it, lancing green laser fire, choo-choo, are the tracks of two TIE fighters that clear the cloud deck as well in hot pursuit of this obvious Rebel starfighter. The Y-wing's turret seems to turn around and open up ion blast as sort of red energy is volleying towards the TIE fighters. And one of them is hit as it spins out of control and explodes somewhere out of your sight in the mountains. The last TIE fighter, the second one, retaliates and is able to blast the Y-wing's remaining engine, sending it into a tailspin towards the western section of the city. Your comms start to crackle as you hear, "Mayday! Mayday! Come in! Anyone! We're hit! Requested immediate assistance! Please help!" And the secure rebellion frequency that you've been waiting to have sort of light up with your new mission seems to have lit up much earlier than you thought it would. And that is where you find yourselves. What would you like to do?
I think we have to get down off this tower, first of all.
Indeed. The transmission is abruptly silenced as the starfighter disappears into the city skyline. You're not exactly sure where, but a dark plume of smoke erupts finally. There's only a slim chance the pilots survived, but you can't risk them or the ship's astrogation data falling into the hands of the Imperials. The time to activate your sleeper cell has come. You guys know that there are 3 ways down from the tower itself. There is the maintenance freight elevator that you took to get up here. There's the residential elevator that people would normally use who live here. And then there are the security, or rather the emergency stairs, which are stairs that just go down.
I think we take the stairs.
Yeah.
You want to take the stairs?
Yeah, we don't know. They might lock down the elevators.
Good point.
It'd be more cover and we wouldn't be trapped as far as somebody trying to, the doors open and all of a sudden there's the Empire
Let's do it.
Let's move.
Awesome. You guys are moving to the emergency exit stairs. They are on the other side of the roof, the other side of the roof. You guys sort of run around there and you pull them open and you start running down. I need all of you to make athletics checks for me, please. Average athletic checks. Tendar's the only one who apparently has a constitution for this.
Tendar's like fucking along, and I'm like, wait, whose brilliant idea was this? I haven't been doing enough aerobics.
Maybe it has something
I
to
didn't
do
even
with
want to take the stairs.
I mean, maybe it has something to do with you guys like slipping and falling on your butts. Like the stairs are really not used ever, all that often, ever.
Yeah,
they're really
they're a little
icy
iced.
in here. Exactly.
And then on top of that, we're being overly cautious.
Yes.
And so we're kind of like heads on a swivel and not being as careful on the stairs as
That's
we should.
right. As the two of you who failed take 2 strain as you sort of feel the effects of running down 25 flights of stairs on ice as quickly as possible. Tendar, apparently with his webbed feet, is just doing just fine.
I think I'm a little more cautious. Wasn't particularly keen on the whole stair idea from the beginning.
Less of a look around everywhere kind of guy.
Just looking at the steps.
You guys boot open the bottom door to get out of the stairs, and you discover that the loudspeaker, sort of the city public address system, comes to life as you hear, "We repeat, the Glare Peak Imperial Governor has declared a state of emergency and ordered a citywide lockdown until the rebel threat has passed. City security is establishing checkpoints throughout the city. All non-official vehicle travel is prohibited until further notice. Stay indoors for your own safety. Citizens found outside will be subject to search and possible detention."
We need to find an official vehicle.
Sounds good.
Totally, yeah. You guys can look around for an official vehicle. As you are sort of looking around, you can see that Imperials are starting to patrol the streets and the skies above. You're seeing TIE fighters starting to strafe over the city, much lower than they ever have before. In your experience, Glare Peak is actually run by a civilian planetary government. While there is an Imperial governor here, it's always been sort of a back and forth about who's sort of in charge. There's even a civilian security organization as well that sort of mostly takes care of security in Glare Peak. Apparently now the Empire is really locking down and taking over as they're putting their snow troopers on the street, and those are the Imperial units you're seeing walking the streets sort of off in your peripheral vision.
What was our cover beforehand? Like,
Sure, that's a great question. You all found jobs here in town. Tendar, you worked for a really shitty boss who was running a mechanics organization. That part of that was servicing the Imperial Detention Center, and that's one of the reasons why you got involved there. For you, Kale, you actually were able to make friends with one of the assistant administrators of Glare Peak and act as an aide and a bodyguard to them for a little while. You know that you could contact them as well. They have transport that flies around. And for you, Zal, you have been spending a lot of time in the cantina, as it were, called the Asteroid Belt. And there is where you actually met Imperial Security Bureau agent who actually thought you were still a Imperial informant yourself. And so you've been feeding them misinformation. So you have that contact, a pretty high up in Imperial Security Bureau, ISB agent, who thinks that your code name is Lothar. And that's sort of what you guys have been up to as you've been on Trivor 2 for the last month. But currently, obviously, the city has gone on lockdown, and you think that a crash site has obviously occurred sort of in the western part of the town, which is sort of not where you are right now. You're on the eastern part.
Let me see if I can get us a vehicle. So I'm going to call on my comm, the administrator,
Totally.
and say that I'm assessing a security risk, and I recommend he come to my location.
Totally, yeah. You know,
with his vehicle.
His name is Pirelon. He is a human. And he quickly responds to your call, Kyle, saying, "The city's on lockdown. I don't know if I'll be able to get to you very quickly. Where would you like to meet?"
And so right now we're under this reception tower.
Yes.
Still.
Yes, that's right. How about this? Meet me on the roof of Hal's Goods, and I can pick you up there. You know that Hal's Goods is the biggest sort of emporium for equipment, though they are not allowed to sell weapons there.
Great. All right. We'll be there.
Cool. Your group starts to move through the snowy streets of Trivor 2, of Glare Peak on Trivor 2. You can see Imperial agents around. I need all of you to make stealth checks at this point, please. What happens is that KL is able to lead your group through sort of a service tunnel that he knows about underground. You're leaving footprints behind you, and you are hearing the voices of Imperials right on your trail, but you don't think they've spotted you as of yet, as you guys are sort of rushing through the snow on your way towards Hal's Goods. So you guys are sort of helping each other, but yeah, your big webbed feet are definitely being sort of, leaving tracks in the snow. And Zal, part of your sort of like snow gear is torn off on like a jagged edge as you're running through the service tunnel. You guys definitely see Imperial security droids that are starting to sort of like hover in different places as well. And you're sort of stopping at corners and then rushing across to try and miss them. And I'll need everyone to make one more stealth check, please. Because you're seeing the Imperial presence around Hal's goods is really clamping down. Like there's a ton of people starting, a ton of Imperial and security forces around here. You guys are so focused on the Imperial security droids that are floating above you that you sort of come around a corner and you run smack into 3 Glare Peak security personnel. There are 2 humans and 1 Bothan. They're wearing like snowy sort of gear. They're not Imperials per se, but they are obviously security personnel. Zal, since you succeeded, you're able to not be seen basically. You're sort of not around the corner yet while your 2 buddies, Kyle and Tendar, were running ahead of you. And so they sort of run smack into these 2 people. And they look at you guys and they're like, oh, hold, put your hands up.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm reaching for my ID. I'm reaching for ID.
I'm reaching for ID.
And I show my security detail badge, my credentials as a government administrative bodyguard.
Tendar, what are you doing?
Do I have any kind of credentials as a sort of tech person on this planet?
You have credentials as working for Oolong's mechanical service. That's the name of your old boss, Oolong. He fired you recently, but you still have those. You still have those credentials.
Sweet. Yeah. So I'm here on.
He's with me. We're meeting up with Pyreem.
Cool. Yeah.
To repair his skiff.
Cool.
It was important on this lockdown that we get him in shipshape order.
Awesome. I will need you to make a deception check, please, KL. They say, governmental aid, Prael. What? We have not heard anything about this. You better come in with us.
No. Take a closer look at my badge and the frag grenade that I was hiding behind the credentials. As I sort of like
at this point, we should all roll initiative. Tendar, you go first. Zal, don't forget that they haven't seen you yet. You're still hidden from them. Tendar, what would you like to do? You have initiative.
Is a blaster normally set to stun, or is it set to...
You just let me know that you want to set it to stun.
I would like to set my blaster to stun.
Set your blaster to stun, and you bust it out and fire at which one of them? One of the humans or the Bothan?
Who looks the most threatening?
The human who's like coming toward you guys at this point. They're sort of like almost engaged with Zal. They're like very short range, as it gets me. Okay, go ahead and make your throw.
So I failed with advantage?
That's correct. After 10 darts, it's Zal. Yeah, so you bust out you have what, a light blaster pistol, right?
Yeah, blaster pistol.
And sort of the blue concentric rings fire from it, but the guy's surprised at this point as he's coming forward, and they all are obviously going to pull their weapons. But it's your turn first, Zal. Anything you would like to do?
I will do the same.
Cool. You come around from behind the corner with your
heavy blaster
pistol. You have a heavy blaster pistol. Oh, yeah, you're not messing around.
I want to set to stun as
Cool.
well.
You set it to stun, and you can go ahead and fire. So you are at medium range, so you failed, but you have 2 advantage. Do you want to describe how you're sort of helping KL?
I think because I went ahead and came around the corner and shot, it threw them. They're like, wait a minute, there's more than one person that we got to deal with.
So focused on
it might slow them down slightly as far as pulling their weapons.
I arm that frag grenade.
You have that frag grenade.
Still attached. I arm it by removing the badge.
Now your friends are shooting. Your friends are shooting with stun settings, but you're just throwing a frag grenade straight up. This is war.
They didn't give Alderaan a chance.
They are. Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, so you're definitely able to hit.
I have 1 frag grenade. It can be used once. So yeah, I'll go for the human who was
cool. How much damage does your frag grenade do?
9 damage.
9 damage? Yeah, you just tear him apart. Do you want to describe how?
Whoa!
So they've been dodging stun blasts.
Yeah.
And this frag grenade bounces between his legs
ding, ding, ding.
and blows him forward past and he's just in pieces, kind of against the wall. And there's a smoking crater and rivulets of water from the melting ice, and there's a small cloud of steam and smoke in the air.
Brutal. You're brutal. They're pulling out their light blaster pistols. And they're concentrating on you, KL. You've obviously just dusted one of their buddies with a grenade. So it hits you for 5 points. So you soak
it. Yeah.
You just totally soak all of that?
Yep.
Nice, yeah. Just the first one strikes you in the chest, not even getting past your armor. The next one comes, is able to hit you for 6, though.
All right, so I take a wound
Take
there.
a wound, exactly, as the light blaster pistol gets through your armor.
Singes me.
And they're like...
Grit my teeth.
And they say, partisans! That's what they're yelling. Partisans! And we're going to go right back to the top. It's your turn, Tendar.
What do they mean by partisans?
They're calling you partisans.
Oh, jeez.
Partisans!
The party's on. What?
Partisan is a word used mostly in wartime to mean like guerrillas.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Normally to mean like someone who's like, you could think of like Ukrainian partisans or Belarusian partisans or, Nicaraguan partisans. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
like people who are fighting against the government for a cause. For
They're
whatever
on an
reason.
established side.
Yeah,
That
like
isn't
FARC
the,
in
that isn't
Colombia.
the system. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Anyways,
Sorry.
that's okay.
Aside. I'll turn my blaster still on stun.
Oh yeah, are you saying anything to KO?
Was that necessary?
It did make a lot of noise. A grenade just went off.
So much for our stealth.
And I'll pop one off.
Do you want to aim beforehand or anything?
Oh yeah, I'll
like that?
aim.
Yeah, you aim and you gave yourself a boost.
That looks like a failure with a lot of advantage.
Yep, that's correct.
Blaster fire coming in 2 directions.
Yeah, I mean,
Steam
From the
grenades.
evaporating.
Exactly, the evaporating
Snow.
ice, just like this basically put a sort of a divot, like a small crater in the ground where the grenade went off. Zal, it's your turn.
She's going to aim as well. A triumph, a success, and 3 advantage.
Four
advantage.
Four
That's right,
advantage,
'cause it's
yeah.
a double advantage.
So you definitely hit them.
Okay, 7.
So
yeah.
you do 8 damage, right?
Yep.
Well, you shoot him in the. You don't ruin his costume when you shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So then we have a costume to take off the dead body. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
You could do
well,
that.
no, I am still on stun. So okay, yes. I actually shoot him in the face. So
All right, perfect.
So his
He goes
his
down.
outfit's okay.
But yeah, you take him down. He just falls unconscious. And the Bothan is the only one left now as it turns to your turn, Kale.
So I'm going to ready my vibro knife and close to engage.
Yeah.
And push strain to do that close to
Exactly,
engagement.
yep.
So I go to 9.
Yep.
And then I'm going to stab him in the head.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Make your attack. So melee attacks are always average.
Don't get blood on the uniform.
What's a
It's a
Bothan?
vibro knife. It's a Bothan.
Yeah, the furry Bothan.
All right.
Oh, another.
So
Another.
actually, so it's a fail, right? It's a push.
It is. It's a push. So even though you triumphed, it's still a fail, but your triumph still happens.
Does something.
Yeah.
And
if
so
you-
everything else kind of bounces. But the triumph success is there.
Yeah, something really good happens for you, even though it's not a success. Like you can't hit him with damage. Like
Yeah. So I come in. Let's say he blocks the blow.
Yeah.
He drops his weapon in the.
that's exactly
in the
right.
fray.
Yeah, he drops his weapon. Perfect.
Because he has to come bring his arm up to block, and,
Yeah.
the impact knocks the weapon out of his hand.
Perfect. That's exactly right. He's the only one left. He's going to pick his weapon up. He dives to the ground. He's on the ground now in the snow and just gets up on his back and tries to fire just right up into your chest, KL, trying to take you out. Even with the setback, he's definitely going to hit you, KL, pretty hard, as you're going to take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage.
So I take 4 total.
Yep, you take 4 total, but it's Tendar's turn. You can see KL is obviously trying to melee tussle with this guy now, who's on the ground and is in front of his feet. KL's just, he's going nuts. Won't be stopped.
Stop trying to kill him! Why must there be bloodshed?
Nice, yeah.
And I'll try to stun him again.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack. Do you want to aim or anything like that?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, I'll
move
aim.
or anything like that? Okay, go ahead. Because he's on the ground and your friend is in front of him, I will give you a setback as
Okay.
well.
It looks like I succeed.
Yeah, how much damage do you do?
So that's 7.
7 damage. That's enough to take him out.
Sweet.
As you just stun him on the ground and he just
And I was like,
goes limp.
Then meanwhile, then do you
try
stick
to
the knife
try
in
to
his head?
hold Kale like
Try to pull Kale off before he sticks the vibro knife
yeah.
in his head.
He's like
I stab the vibro knife in the ground next to him and start stripping the Bothan.
Yeah, indeed. All of the security forces, even the one that sort of got shredded by a frag grenade, his gear is pretty shredded. But they all have light blaster pistols. They have Glare Peak guard uniforms that you can wear 2 of them pretty easily. And they have Glare Peak guard badges as well.
So do two of us dress up as guards and
Yeah, you
Yep.
dress up. I'll take the badge.
shouldn't one of us be like we're escorting you to questioning or something?
Well, I don't.
Or escorting somebody.
I don't think I'm gonna fit into a human guard uniform.
No.
So you put on the shredded one, and we smear some blood on you, and we carry you between us.
You've been injured?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
we
let's
could
do
do that.
that.
Yeah.
Cool. All of you gain +1 soak by putting on the guard uniforms. They're sort of padded and have a little bit of laminate armor woven into them. So you all gain +1 soak by putting these guard uniforms on, and you continue your way forward to Hal's Goods and Services. The entire city, Glare Peak, has been locked down. No one is in the streets besides the Imperials. You don't see any more. It seems like most of them are actually heading towards the crash site. You're easily able to get up onto the roof of Hal's Goods and Services, and Hal's itself is locked down as far as you can tell. People are probably even in there. But you don't have time really right now to deal with them, as very quickly the airspeeder that you've called your contact in the city government, aide to the overseer Pirillon, appears. Pirillon is flanked by two protocol droids, one that is completely cobalt blue and the other that is more of like a sea green. He is a human. He's dressed like a politician in robes and finery. As the landing sort of track comes down the ramp to get onto the ship, he looks at the three of you and says, "This is highly irregular. What is going on here? KL, I don't... Why are you dressed as guards? This doesn't make any sense."
During the lockdown, we were deputized. We were hit. We were attacked. Whoever's on planet. That's why I called you in. This is bad.
He sort of looks at you and says,
I make moaning noises.
you can make a deception check, actually. You can gain a boost from your buddy.
So that's a failure with a couple advantages.
Yep, it sure is. He looks at you and he says, KL, tell me what's really going on here.
All right. Do you know about the rebellion?
Of course I know about the rebellion. Do you think that we want the Imperials here? They came as friends and allies first, gave us much aid. They said, just let us build this jail on your planet. Everything will be fine. We'll pay you for the land. And we were happy to do it. But now they've called a lockdown of the city. We weren't even appraised of this. They don't trust us. It feels like they're taking over.
They are.
Are you saying that you and your friends are part of the Alliance?
Of course we are.
This is... Well, I understand now why you couldn't maybe tell me before. What can I do for you, though? You need to escape off-planet?
We need to get into it. We need to get to where that ship just crashed.
We need to get to the crash site.
Okay. The crash site, I've been told over the lines, the communications, internal security communications are saying that it crashed directly into the asteroid belt cantina. None of the planetary forces are allowed in there now. The Imperials have taken it over entirely. I can fly you close to it, but I don't think I'll be able to get you inside.
As long as you can get us close, I can get us inside.
Very well. You guys load up onto the ship. You can see that he has one of the, it's sort of like an autopilot thing that he has going. So he doesn't even need to do anything. He's just like pressing buttons. Zhao, you're obviously an ace pilot. You know that you could probably take this ship over very easily and fly it if you needed to. As you guys rise up from Hal's Goods and Services, you sort of quickly wing your way across the top of the city. There are a few communications that the ship receives from Imperial TIE fighters, but you're able to use the planetary governmental codes as a passcode. This person does seem to have clearance to fly around at this time. They're not trying to push too hard on the governmental politicians at this moment. So you guys are able to make your way across the city and towards the crash site.
What's the best place to be? Is there another way into the asteroid?
I need you to make a skullduggery check for me, please.
A skullduggery check.
Indeed.
Okay.
Zal, please. As you sort of think back onto what you have learned during your time at there, as you think about sort of the cantina is sort of a shady place where sort of stuff happens, who knows.
Oh.
Yeah, you triumphed on that. So you know immediately, Zal, that you've heard whispers that there are underground tunnels, secret smuggling tunnels that go into the basement of the blasted asteroid belt that leads to other shops that are sort of adjacent to it. You also know that there's a main entrance, and you know that there's a sort of a back entrance, but really what that means is climbing up to a balcony and going through like a balcony door. Those are the three ways that you know to get into the Blessed Asteroid Cantina as you guys sort of land on a roof nearby a few blocks away.
All right. Well, I'll explain to them the three different entrances as far as ways we can go. We have to decide how we want to play this. We can either decide that we're coming in, perhaps that we're bringing in somebody who is supposed to be the contact for the pilot. Like if we're going to come in under my cover of saying that I'm still an Imperial working for the Empire, and that we could say that maybe I've found out that this is the person that the pilot was trying to get a hold of.
Maybe we sneak in and use that as backup.
Okay, we could do that.
Yeah, I don't want to be bait.
Phylon looks around at all of you. He, as I mentioned, is a human. He's probably in his late 30s, early 40s, and he says, "You seem to be wounded. Do you need medical attention?"
Oh no, it's just fake.
Very well.
I think Kale, though, could use some.
I'm good, and I pop a stim pack.
Cool. You gain back 5 wounds as you inject yourself with a stim pack. You all have stim packs, I think, in your gear?
Yeah,
Yep.
I have 2.
Yep. So just keep track of those. And Phylon says, "I will stay close as I can. Call me again if you need help."
Thank you so much, and I give him a standard planetary handshake of this.
He shakes your hand and he says, "For Alderaan."
And I shed a tear.
Shed an internal tear. Yeah, you guys are able to make your way to, again, the town is on lockdown, so the streets are empty. You are able to secretly make your way to an adjacent shop that you know one of the smuggling tunnels leads to. It is a glow rod shop, like an illumination shop, like a lamp shop. But you can tell that the door is locked.
Well, I have Lockbreaker.
Yeah, you can definitely use skullduggery to break open the lock and get in there.
Okay, I'll go ahead and try and do that.
Please go ahead and roll a skullduggery check. Yeah, that's great. So you totally succeed. You're able to open it up. Why don't you give everyone a boost? So
Okay.
everyone just take a blue for your next roll with that triumph, as you guys are super prepared, as you easily find the rug that leads to the basement, the secret tunnel behind the tapestry that leads under the streets of Glare Peak and into the bottom of the cantina. So you guys are coming in through the store over here into the cantina. As you guys are making your way into the Blasted Asteroid Cantina, you can see that it is dark inside, though bright portable floodlights now shine on a badly damaged Y-Wing cockpit. You can see that the Y-Wing crashed directly into the side of the cantina. Its back half is outside, and its engines crashed into nearby buildings where fire and smoke is now coming up, but the cockpit itself is buried in rubble now. There's also an unmoving astromech droid, which is partially buried in the rubble. You can also see that there are 3 snowtroopers who stand guard along the perimeter of the floodlights. Behind them, there are 4 Internal Security Bureau, Imperial Security Bureau, technicians who are crawling frantically over the ship. One of them is working at a portable analyzer with wires running into the cockpit that they're affixing. You can also see the head of another technician that seems to be peeking out from behind the ship. The other 2 are trying to free the astromech droid from where it's buried in the rubble. 2 crew members who seem to be in binders who are locked up there.
So it looks like the astromech droid came in with the Y-Wing.
Yeah, and it looks like the pilot and the gunner are wounded. In fact,
But still
the
alive.
gunner is unconscious, leaning up against the
Tied
pilot.
up.
Yeah, but they have binders on, and they're sort of been placed in one corner of the crash site. And there are 3 snowtroopers.
There are 3. And then how many technicians again?
4.
4 technicians. 7 people with this. Snowtroopers are the ones who are most likely to be armed.
Indeed, you can see that they have...
Does it look like heavy blasters?
They do, in fact, have heavy blasters. Yes. They have blaster rifles.
All right, gentlemen, how do you want to play this?
Well, we could go the technician route or the Imperial route. How do you want to play?
I don't see... my contact knows me as Lothar's my code name. I don't obviously see them there.
No.
But I would know that I could go to the snowtroopers and say...
You could easily contact them. You know that an up-and-coming ISB agent named Agent Farlon, who has been very eager to catch rebels, so eager that you've managed to convince her that you're an Imperial informant, codenamed Lothar, and you've been passing fake tips via comlink or blind drop. Feeding the right story to her could create a distraction elsewhere in the city while you infiltrate, you know that she drives an ISB speeder and has ISB agents and snowtroopers at her command.
Tell them this is a dirty bomb. Tell them this is dangerous. This whole site's no good. We gotta get 'em out of here.
that the Y-Wing's actually been set up to be, like they've actually purposely...
It's a trap.
They purposely crashed it in, type thing, because there's something more that's going to go on.
That's a play I'd go with.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and try. We'll go ahead and try and do that.
Cool. So you contact her to try and feed her the story.
Okay.
I need you to make a deception check, please. And you're going to get 2 boosts on this because she's very, very apt to be understanding.
Agent Farlon, I have news.
A dirty bomb, you say? Inside the Y-Wing? We're going to dispatch more troops. You definitely think that you're on the clock. The other thing that she tells you, Imperial intelligence has revealed that Vader himself has taken an interest in these captured soldiers and is desperate to find the Rebel Alliance headquarters and generals. And they believe that these soldiers and their astromech information,
Have the information
have
that
that
we would
information.
actually get. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the clock, and I think we're just going to have to full frontal assault here.
Well, the next play. How do you know these techs?
Do I know these techs?
No, these are Imperial Security Bureau
Right.
technicians. You're more of a freelancer. You don't know them. You have worked with people like this before.
Is it likely they would have called in freelancers for something like this?
It's possible, especially with newly revealed information that there's a dirty bomb. Who knows?
All right, I'll take off the charred
Charred
and
security.
bloodied security
Go ahead and
outfit.
subtract that +1 to your soak.
Well, then should we escort him in? Say that we were told to bring him.
Let's do it.
Let's do it because we're the
Okay.
things. Okay.
And I palm my AP grenade.
Cool.
This time I think since you have low deception, I have a little bit higher deception. I'll be the one to go up.
You
to
want to be the
talk.
one.
Yeah.
So you guys, the 3 of you are coming in.
Yes.
You 2 are flanking him.
Yes.
And
And we
he's-
have our badges.
You have your badges out. Great. Yeah. So
Where's that isometric droid?
that's awesome.
We've been in order to escort this freelancer and to help out.
Yeah. As you guys
He
walk
knows
in.
explosives.
As you guys walk in and you're saying this stuff, the snow troopers, the 3 of them, they raise their rifles and they say, "Halt!"
Whoa!
And then they say, "State your purpose."
We are here to escort this freelance engineer in. We were told that there was reports of a dirty bomb being involved with this Y-Wing and that there's more help needed. We know there's more snow troopers along the way, but there was more technicians needed to get this under control. And this gentleman is actually an expert in explosives.
Yeah, make your coercion check. No, actually, I'm going to go back. Sorry, it's deception. You are deceiving
It
them.
is deception,
It is
okay.
deception. You are deceiving them. This will be an average check.
Oh,
Totally.
lots of success.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was really
Lots of
good.
advantage, yep. And they wave you forward. They say, "Drop off the tech and then get out of here."
Well, do you need any help? We know
No, situation under control.
All right.
And one of them says to another, "We didn't get any orders about this." And the other one says, "The dirty bomb has
I'm just
been
gonna
reported."
I'm just gonna start going.
Yeah, you
over.
make it easily past the snow troopers, Tendar.
This looks bad. It could blow at any moment. I say as I toss.
Is that what's happening? You're tossing your grenade? Or Tendar's moving forward. So, Tendar, where are you moving to? Let's go that
You're moving
way.
towards the.
So, where the isometric droid probably has information that we don't want to fall into their hands. There's probably flight data somewhere on the ship,
Just make an intellect check.
so that still fails
Still fails. With advantages, though, huh?
with 4 advantages.
Cool. So yeah, you sort of look around. You're definitely sure that the information is in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
It might be in the droid. You're not sure.
Okay. So I'll go over, see what the guys that are plugging into the cockpit.
Cool. Yeah, you go over to the cockpit and look at what they're doing, and they sort of look up at you and sort of like raise eyebrows at you, like, "What is this? What? Like, they're all humans here. You're a Mon Calamari, and they're like, "What? We don't need this guy's help." And they sort of are giving you the cold shoulder.
Careful, gentlemen. There might be a bomb.
I say, "We've discovered no bomb. Right
Do you
now."
really know what you're looking for?
Yes, we've been trained for this. What are you doing here? We
But
don't
are you
need your-
aware of the crafty things that the rebels have been doing lately?
And they sort of stop at that. You can see, Tendar, that they are obviously affixing cables from their analyzer unit into the cockpit. It seems like they're probably trying to download information or decrypt information. The other 2 that I mentioned, there's 2 at the cockpit and 2 by the droid, and they're sort of getting that droid, digging them out more and more. What are you guys doing? You're sort of like saying, like, "Oh, this looks bad, KL," but
Yeah.
anything else you want to be doing?
I'll leap back, pointing at the rebels on the ground, saying, who gave them that? And drop, sort of like toss to the side my AP grenade behind
so
the
you're about
stormtroopers.
to ruse is about to take shape.
And take some fight.
And how about for Zal? Anything you want to do before all this goes down?
A quick scan of the area to see where there'd be cover.
There's tons of cover. There's
and
behind
there
the
might
bar.
be a spot where we can maybe pull the guys back.
You could
once
flip
it
over
goes.
tables. There's columns you can hide behind. There's a little bit of a stage that's more of a cleared area. You know that these are where the balconies are, where you can climb down from at the back of the building. This is the main entrance. These are the secret tunnels out of the building.
And what is the lighting situation?
It's totally dark in here, except for the floodlights that have been set up
How many floodlights are there?
Great question. There are 4 floodlights.
4 floodlights.
And they each have 2 banks, so 8 banks.
And is there like, what powers them? Is there like a generator per?
They are self-generating, generator per. So 4 generators, yes. So you look around and you're sort of getting this sense. Do you want to move anywhere or check anything out as you're looking around or position yourself at all? Because effectively, the snowtroopers are like, okay, you guys have dropped off this tech. Now it's time for you to leave. That's sort of what they've said to you. Obviously, KL is about to deceive or attempt to deceive them.
Okay, I want to kind of position, like, back up a little bit where I can get behind something.
Cool. You want to take cover.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. It's like you're heading towards the exit, but you quickly put yourself behind a column.
Yeah, with the idea that I can then go out and try and shoot.
KL, I need you to make a deception check against them. Hey, look at that. Perfect. You totally deceive them. They're like, rebels! And they turn as you get your grenade off. Go ahead and make your check, and then I'll need, you guys can make cool checks or vigilance checks. We're rolling initiative.
So it's a success with 3 disadvantage.
So that means that it hits one of the people that you're going for.
For 16.
For 16.
Whoa!
Yeah. You throw it and it just shreds one of the stormtroopers or the snow troopers.
Oh my god, I'm getting out of here!
And it's like, ah!
I'm going to use strain to try to run as well, like I'm running for the exit.
Yeah, you totally.
fright.
Yeah, you can run away. So you were within short range. Now you're within medium range as you sort of run for the exit. You're within short range of them. You're within short range of the snowtroopers, but effectively engaged with the techs that are next to you.
So I guess I'll roll.
Roll your initiative. Yes, please. What did Tendar get for initiative? So Tendar, you actually go first since you have 1 success with 3 advantage, the highest of all of us, even the NPCs.
So the big boom.
The big boom happens.
Yeah, you hear me go like, those rebels are bad news, and they're like rebels, and then I throw a thing and it explodes, and I'm out of here.
The techs look up in concern. Obviously, you can see that they actually are packing light blaster pistols at their sides, and it looks like they're probably going to start to pull them out. But you can see that they're also like sort of torn. Like their mission, their job here is to get this information. Yeah, they obviously are armed.
All right. So be like, quick, disconnect the. What is this thing?
Analyzer.
Quick, disconnect the analyzer. It might set off another explosion.
Awesome. That's a coercion. Go ahead and make a coercion check.
2 advantage.
Yeah,
and
no
nothing
success.
else.
So it's a failure, just to push. They say, our mission is to get this information. Our commander will have our head if we don't get this. We must.
My God, man, don't be a fool! And I just try to grab the thing from his hands.
Cool. So you're sort of getting into a physical confrontation with them at this point, trying to coerce them. They're obviously not listening to you. Zal, it's your turn.
He's kind of cleared the area where the stormtroopers are, right? Or the snowtroopers?
He blasted one of them to death. Yeah,
Right.
one of them got shredded. It just like it. They have really heavy armor on. Like these are stormtroopers. They have big guns, heavy armor, and one of them just got shredded.
So there's a lot of confusion going on.
There is a lot of confusion going on.
All right, so I think I'm going to throw an AP grenade as well.
Go for it. Yeah, go ahead and make a ranged light. As you have your back up against this column, you whip around and you just huck one of your AP grenades at one of the stormtroopers.
That's good.
You definitely shred one of them. Again, the pop. These grenades are just going off. You shred the other one. The 2 have gone down now.
Does it feel like they knew that I was the one who threw it?
You can use your triumph to continue to stay hidden if that's what you'd
I
like
wanted
to
to
do.
continue to stay hidden and be yelling like, this place is going up, we gotta evacuate!
Awesome, yeah. You totally remain hidden. It is the snowtrooper's turn. He doesn't know what to do, so I think what he's going to do is he's just going to start shooting. He shoots you in the back with a stun. He's not sure exactly what's going on, so he's not going to try and kill you, but he's going to try and stun you. It is not a miss. It is a hit. You'll take 9 damage.
All right, so I take 3 total.
It's 9 against your strain. As he's stunning you.
Strain, okay.
Yeah.
And
so
then do you still soak
You can
that?
soak, yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so this is a 13, this is a 4.
Yeah. He fires into you. Kale, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to roll with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to fall down and also try to roll into cover as I
Yep.
fall, like kind of like
Totally.
like I've spun down and out behind a column
Yep.
or a table or something.
Easily. Yep.
And then I'll ready my blaster from behind cover. Mm-hmm. That'll be my
Yep.
my
You get
action.
your blaster ready. The techs, the two that you are with, Tendar, they're like, let that go! Get your webby hands off there! Stop that! Don't touch!
You be careful! You might
go!
trigger another explosion!
And
The bomb! The bomb!
They're obviously fighting with you to try and keep you from disabling and dislodging their cables. They both take out their weapons and they point them at you and say, back off or we'll shoot! The other two who were taking out the astromech droid, they look up and are not sure what's going on. They see that snowtroopers shooting in your direction, so they're firing in your direction as well. With stun, they are not as good as stormtroopers.
And I'm behind cover.
You definitely are behind cover. It's a little bit more difficult for them to hit you, for sure. Yeah, they miss. One is able to get through, and their weapon damage is 5.
So I soak
Yeah,
that.
you soak the whole thing.
So it blasts
Yeah,
through the
it does.
column and chips.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Chips a column, and sort of the chips spray you in the face, but nothing really happens to you. And they're shooting just regular blaster bolts. They haven't changed the sun. It is your turn, Tendar. What would you like to do?
Dope.
They're like, ugh. Two blaster pistols are pointing at you. The ISB techs, they are in like uniform gray, white with black insignia on their shoulders. They have like little like skull caps, like black skull caps that are sort of coming over their heads. They're obviously humans, and they have like little electro binoculars that they've been using to do their work.
Listen, you just need to be very, very careful when analyzing rebel flight data.
Cool. Make a negotiation check.
So I succeeded
Yeah, you did with 2
Really
threat.
nicely.
with 2 threat.
So they sort of are nodding and they're lowering their weapons and they say, all right, we'll be careful, but you stay away.
If you don't know what you're looking for, you might trigger an explosion.
Yeah, they seem, your threat, they don't seem to be wanting to deal with you, but they're not going to shoot you right now. They're like, okay, maybe this guy sort of knows what he's talking about. And they say, well, be careful. You just stay there.
Okay.
All right, and that's your turn, Tendar. It's Zal's turn. There's one snowtrooper who is sort of has thrown himself behind some cover, kicked over a table,
And
and
he's-
has been blasting it in KL's direction. They don't really know where you are, obviously, and it looks like 2 of the ISB technicians have also sort of drawn their weapons and are firing KL's direction.
All right, I think I'm going to throw a frag grenade in the 2 technicians who are by the mech droids.
Cool.
Because maybe another distraction and
Yeah.
maybe they'll think the droid is starting to
Cool.
explode.
Go ahead and make your ranged light
Okay.
as you sort of huck another grenade. Shoot. Nice.
Ooh.
That's
Wow, a lot of
succeeded.
success.
A lot of success. Yeah, how much damage is that? That's going to be like...
Did you get so the initial success is 1, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's like 4 extra damage.
Yeah.
So that's 12 damage.
12 damage to one of them. You can
Yeah.
choose one of the technicians or the astromech, depending on who you want to throw it at.
One of the technicians.
Yep. Yeah, it just shreds him. Ah! It just goes up as it explodes.
See?
But you are obviously revealed at this point as
Okay.
you sort of whip around, and they obviously see the arc of the
thing as it
frag grenade
explodes.
as a ting 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 doosh, and just explodes. And they're like, "We're under attack!" It is the snowtrooper's turn. He's going to turn to you, Zal.
Would I have had time to kind of duck back a little bit undercover, or am I till like
Yeah, you can take a.
I'll take a strain to.
Take 2 strain.
Yeah, you can take a 2 strain,
2 strain.
to hide again, and that will give them a setback. As he fires a, but he's pretty good, Stormtrooper. Yeah, the Stormtrooper hits you. You're going to take 9 points of damage.
Oh.
Yeah, so you soak 5. Yep.
So it's now my go.
It is. It's KL's turn. You have a setback because of the smoke and the darkness, as it were.
I'll pop up with my heavy blaster and take a shot at the snowtrooper. It's a push,
It's a push,
but with a
but with a
I saw
triumph.
the triumph and was
So
thinking that
you
maybe
do not hit him, but something goes your way.
The blast goes stray, but hits the analyzer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
How much damage does your weapon do normally? Is it
10.
10? Just straight? Yeah, you have a heavy blaster pistol?
Yeah, it's a heavy blaster
That's
rifle.
awesome. Oh, you have a rifle. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah. The analyzer just explodes. And the techs who are like looking at you are like, ah, as it now explodes. Yeah, you just put your hands up, Tendar, like you're like, what? So one of the techs was just destroyed by a grenade that you threw. The other 2 are like, they're trying to figure out the analyzer shit, but now that it's been destroyed, they sort of don't know what to do with themselves, and they pull their blasters, and they're like, move away! And the 3 techs, 2 of them are going to fire at you, and 1 will fire at you. And you're behind cover still, is that right? Yeah. That's going to be a miss. It's going to be a success. You'll take 5 damage.
Okay, let's soak
You
that.
soak that, and then 1 of them fires at you, and I don't think you're behind cover anymore.
Right.
No. And that's no good. That's our. They're just firing with their light blaster pistols.
Too much smoke.
Too much smoke,
Too much
indeed.
smoke.
Tendar, it's your
They
turn.
don't do,
They seem to not be paying attention to you right now.
Right. So I have a stun grenade, right?
Yeah.
And that says hits all characters engaged with target.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be both of these 2 guys?
Yep. So it means that
If I just dropped it at my feet, would I also end up stunning myself?
you would, yeah. yeah, you would. And what
Just
that
thought
means
that
is
might
that
If you want to keep up your cover, that's not necessarily a bad
if you're
idea.
throwing the stun grenade at someone who's in melee with other people, it will hit them as well.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, normally you need to get advantages to hit more people with a grenade.
Okay. So, well, they're engaged in combat now. I will try and.
They are fighting, but they are not engaged, if that makes
Oh,
any
okay.
sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. But
in the game term. Yes,
Right.
they are engaged. But you're right.
they're distracted
Yes.
from me. I'll sort of, because I have a data pad.
Yeah.
Can I connect that to the cockpit?
Totally.
All right. So
Yeah.
I want to try to covertly connect my data pad. To
Okay, so if you're trying to be covert about it,
Oh no, I actually don't have to. It would just be like I'm just doing my job, right? Just
yeah. So you walk up to the ship's computer and you're attempting to use your data pad to do what? Let's just say you're easily able to connect your data pad to it,
Okay.
which you are.
we don't need this information, right? We just want to make sure that they don't get it. So I'm just gonna try to corrupt.
I need you to make a computers check,
Yeah.
please. Yeah. As you connect your data pad to the cockpit systems, you have the benefit of having the encryption codes for the data that's in here, whereas they did not. So you're easily able to
Rogue
quickly
dice.
gain access.
Got 3 successes.
Awesome. You're easily able to wipe the data. Is there anything else? Well, it's very clear to you that you are now distracting the techs who were firing at Zal before, as they're obviously realizing that you're messing with the thing they told you not to mess with. And they're like, hey, stop that!
What? Something seems to be wrong here.
You're damn right! It's you! They said. All right, Zal, it's your turn.
All right, heavy blaster pistol.
Heavy blast pistol. Who are you firing at?
I am firing at the snowtrooper.
Snowtrooper, go ahead.
That's
Definitely.
pretty good.
That's real good. How much damage do you do with your heavy
Blaster does 7 damage on a hit, plus 1 damage per.
Stunned. The target is staggered until the end of his next turn, but it doesn't matter because you did enough damage to blast right through his armor and all of his wounds as the snowtrooper just falls. Smoke sort of coming from his chest plate.
Can I move a little bit closer to the mech droid? Like look for the next cover close to the mech droid?
Yeah, there is debris around the mech droid. Yeah, you can move closer.
So when
to
I
the
head
mech droid.
towards the mech droid, but try and look for the next thing of cover I can get in.
Yeah, you effectively can move to the tech droid if you want to. There is one technician that's nearby there, and the other 2 are at the cockpit with Tendar.
Actually, no. Instead, I want to head to the next round of cover that's going to get me closer to the pilot and the gunner.
Yes, they're on the other side, basically, from where the droid is. And so you are moving over there. Very good. You move towards the pilot and gunner. You can see that the pilot himself, he's been trying to struggle with his bonds, but has been unable to get free. The gunner has passed out. You don't know if they're alive or not at this point. They were very, very seriously wounded in the crash. KL, it's your turn.
All right, so I'm gonna aim at the technician near my buddy here, one of the 2.
One of the 2.
And fire my heavy blaster rifle. There is 2 successes. That's 11 damage.
You take them out. Their soak is 2 and their wounds are 5. It's just, and
right.
you blast him right sort of in the shoulder, and he spins and then just falls. The techs, there's 2 left, one next to you and one who's next to the astromech droid.
Yeah.
The one next to the astromech droid, one next to you, and 2 left, one next to you and one next to the astromech droid. The one next to the astromech droid puts his comm on and says, "Help! Help! We're under attack! Help! Help!" And the other one, who's next to you, takes out his gun and just tries to shoot you at this point and says, "Rebel! Rebel!"
Okay.
Okay.
There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah. But it's 2 close quarters. You are able to do something. You flail. Knock
He
his
makes
shot
noises.
wide.
He's like, ah!
Tendar, it is your turn.
So yeah, I'll be like, whoa. If that's the way you want to play it. Pull out my blaster.
You pull out your blaster's maneuver, and you're able to fire right into him. Go ahead and make your attack, please.
No successes.
Yep. You're obviously not able to shoot him either.
I'll give the guy a setback.
Yeah, you give him a setback. He dives behind the cockpit for a second as your blaster bolt sort
And
of
this is
tings
why
off
you
of
don't
it.
give technicians guns.
Ah, pow, pow, pow.
Zal, it's your turn.
I get to
You get to them,
Get to
and
them.
the pilot looks up at you and says, "Are you part of the Alliance?"
part of the alliance. Take me a second to remember. Yes.
Yes.
We're here to help.
And he,
You've been under deep cover for too long and you can't quite remember.
Yeah, like, wait.
he says, "I'm Tracer. This is Deflector." Code names. He says, "He's free me, free me."
All right, so I free Tracer,
Cool. Yeah, you're
and
able
then
to get there.
I want to
and free
check
him.
the gunner.
Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Okay.
Fail.
Ah,
You're unsure. He's unconscious.
he's unconscious. Can I use a stim pack on him, or is
On
it
your
not
next
a-
turn, you might
next
be
turn?
able to try and do
Okay.
something like that. It is the snowtroopers' turns who were outside guarding the door. They busted open. Two of them come in from the main entrance as they're like, "What's going on in here?" And they're like, "Everyone on the ground!" And they're sort of taking stock of the situation. They see that
The rebels! Someone let the rebels off!
Yeah, they will make a general sort of check to see what they know. Yeah, they're confused. They don't know they don't really know what to do right away. But they're obviously at the door. Kale, it's your turn.
Those techs! That tech there next to the fish guy. He's a rebel!
Make a deception
Rebel
check,
spy!
please.
I'm the worst at deception check. Standard?
Which is a shame because you always have the good ideas for when
This is going to be a hard check as you have your heavy blaster rifle in your hand.
Pointed on the agent.
Pointed at the agent.
Yeah.
Success.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
straight
Yeah,
success?
straight success. They're like, "Oh."
And I'll blast him.
The techs say, "No, they're the rebels. They're the rebels." They're like yelling their operating numbers, 1138 and stuff like that. They're trying to convince them. So I think what we should do is, what is your deception score?
2 green.
So that will be 2 purple for them to try and sort of counter you and try and convince them that they should listen to what they're saying. They are not able to convince those stormtroopers at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we are in like the official
Yeah,
uniforms
exactly.
of
They're
the
like-
town.
The snowtroopers are like, "Dastardly rebels! Disguised as ISB agents!" Very good. Tendar, it's your turn. Oh, excuse me. Before you do what you're about to do, there's a loud bang. And the astromech droid shoots up from a cloud of dust and rubble around itself. It sort of flies in a high arc over the technician that's near it. It's like, "Woo!" And it smashes headfirst into the polished stone bar and noisily cartwheels through stacks and kegs and containers, sort of spilling beverages everywhere. The sort of everyone takes a beat and like just stares at this thing as it then sort of crashes and like, "Wah, wah."
Oh, no.
And now, Tendar, it's your turn.
There was still a tech that was kind of tweaking with it, wasn't there?
There was a tech nearby it whose buddy was like destroyed by a grenade, and he's been shooting, and now he's trying to convince snowtroopers that he's actually works for the Empire, but they're not listening to him, as far as you can tell. They're like saying, "Get on the ground! On the ground!"
The rebels and just black.
You're just gonna shoot the one near you. Go ahead, make your attack. No.
No.
Zal, it's your go. Unless you want to take any maneuvers, Tendar, move anywhere or do anything else.
Yeah, I'll take cover. I'll
Cool. Yeah,
just,
you
like,
jump
be like,
behind.
Bah! And then
you-
just like, woo.
Yeah, you jump behind the cockpit and take cover.
All right, I turn.
Tracer.
I have my.
Is getting up basically from where now you've freed him from his binders.
I free him from. I like stay down,
Okay, cool.
and then I stand up, and I'm like, we came in and saw that these techs were trying to free. Were trying to free these rebels.
You're saying this is snowtroopers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been working with Agent Farlon. I had sent her some information about the dirty bomb, and I was worried that the situation was getting out of control. We had got some more information that there were actual rebel people who were here trying to infiltrate the situation. So we came down to try and add our support.
Cool. Make a deception check, and you can definitely give yourself a boost on this.
Oh.
What does that mean?
It means
Just
it means you fail.
Okay.
Well, you got a lot of
unfortunately, but a lot of advantage.
There's 2 that came in through
There's
the door?
2 that came in, and so you're sort of telling them that this whole deal, that you work for the ISB, you don't think they've sort of like trained their weapons on you, and they're like looking at you, and one of them says like, "Looks like you're the one who's freeing the rebels." Very good. It is their turn. They're looking around at this entire situation. They think that you're on their team, but they don't think you're on their team, so they're going to fire at you, Zal.
It's nice knowing you, gentlemen.
Yep. Zal, that will be a miss with the first
Yay!
one as it goes awry. And the second one is also a miss as it goes awry. Yeah, they're just
Agent
firing.
Farlon is going to have your heads for this.
Yeah, you keep it up. They're like, what?
How dare you?
Cal, it's your turn.
Who should I kill?
There are 2 techs left and now 2 snowtroopers.
I guess I'm gonna blast the snowtrooper.
Cool.
One of them who's got their back turned.
I mean, your back is to them, so you just turn around real quick and blast one of them.
That is going to be 11 damage.
You just take them straight out. Do you want to describe for us?
So they're aimed on you. Was it Zal?
Zal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're taking their shots, and I whip around and blast one, and light comes through the visor of his stormtrooper thing, and just like then smoke as he drops to his knees, then down onto his face.
Yeah, the snowtrooper.
And his buddy's like, "What the what?"
What the what? The techs are up. One comes around the side to try and find you, though you have cover. He does try and shoot at you, Tendar, with his. He's all, "Get back here, you!" And he does hit you for 6 damage. Excuse me, 5 damage.
Just 1 wound then.
1 wound for you. The other one, who was by the astromech, finds some cover and then fires at you, Zal.
Miss.
No, that is going to be a hit for 5 damage.
Oh, I soak it.
You soak it all. Yep.
And then what's the deal with the? Did you free the crew mem?
The one crew member's free, but I told him to get down just
Yeah.
so that it would look, so at least he's down and below cover
Got it.
kind of thing, so.
Cool.
I guess we'll just continue with the firefight.
Yeah, you have this sort of firefight going on. It's tech versus tech.
I'll pop up, take aim,
Yeah,
and then shoot.
go for it.
I succeeded.
Nice. How much damage do you do?
6.
6. Okay, they finally don't die in one shot. Yeah, they have their coveralls soak some of that. He's really wounded, basically. Like if you hit him again, he'd probably go down. As he's just sort of and there's like a steaming blast wound from his shoulder, destroying the Imperial Security Bureau insignia there.
Did they disarm the pilot?
They don't have any weapons.
They don't have
Yeah,
any
yeah,
weapons.
yeah.
Okay, I'll go ahead and aim at the others. There's only
You can see
one down
you can
left
see
of the
Tracer, the
snowtroopers.
pilot, is obviously sort of like making a medicine check, checking out as you were deflector, the
Okay,
gunner
then-
who's unconscious.
Then I'll go ahead and shoot at the snowtrooper,
Go for it.
the heavy blaster. Yeah, two successes, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 2 successes.
So 8 damage.
8 damage, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you wound the snowtrooper, but they are still up. As their armor soaks most of it. Remaining stormtrooper sort of shouts, "Kill the one who's freeing the rebels! I'll take care of this one." As he points at KL, who just blasts his buddy. It is their turn, the one, and he does, KL. He looks right at you as he
right.
tries to blast you in the chest. Pretty good. He does 9 damage to you.
All right, so I soak all but 3.
And he'll give you a setback on your next one
right.
as he sort of smoke blows up around you. KL, it is your turn.
All right, I will return the favor
Yeah.
to this guy. With
Nice.
an extra, so that's going to be 11 damage.
Yeah, you take him out.
Just a hole.
Yeah, your heavy rifle is no
I mean,
joke.
at that range, it's
Yeah,
just
at that
like
range, it's nuts. You're so surprised
Wilhelm
he didn't take
scream.
you out. Yeah. It's the tech's turns. The one that you just fired at and hurt is like, "Screw this!" And just starts booking it. Just starts running for the door. Basically, he's going to
Take him out!
take both his maneuver and his action to just get to the front door, and is like, He's just running for it. The other one, who you've sort of been firing at, he does fire at you, following the now dead snowtrooper's commands, and he does hit you, as you'll take 6 points of damage.
Okay, I soak all but 1.
All but 1. It is your turn, Tendar. What would you like to do?
Can I still see the running, screaming tech?
You can see him. He's at a medium range now. He's further away from
Right,
you.
I will take aim and attempt to shoot him. 2 successes.
Great. Yeah, you shoot him right in the back and he falls over.
Just like slides out the door.
Yeah, his momentum keeps him going on the icy terrain. There's one tech left who's been firing at Zal. Then there's the astromech who's sort of behind the bar going. Other than that, just your team and the rescuees. Zal, it is your turn.
All right, I'll aim at the tech because I don't like getting shot at.
Yeah. Negative.
Ooh. All right. Obviously, the pain
Yeah, you're
hurt my
under it.
gunner arm, and I just did not succeed.
Cool. You're up here on the dais, which is where the prisoners had been kept. Do you want to take a movement or anything like that?
I guess just try and take cover.
Cool, yeah. You can move to some cover, yeah. And Deflector is left behind as Tracer comes with you, and he says, he's dead.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, he's running with you at this point. KL, it's your turn.
All right, so I'm going to go for that other tech, my long-range weapon.
Yep.
That is a success
Yeah.
with a little advantage.
You take him right out. His armor
so
can't
yeah, so
hold
I
up
just-
to your heavy blaster.
And
Rifle.
so I take out the last tech, maybe a little silence fall of smoke.
At this point, the group has defeated all the snowtroopers and the Imperial Security Bureau technicians who were here. You've been able to grab Tracer, the pilot, but you're all still in the blasted asteroid cantina. You know that more Imperial forces are on the way, especially after a botched call to an ISB commander who you're trying to convince to keep forces away from the crash site.
I say we make our way to the store, back through the tunnel, the way we came.
What about the isometric droid?
Grab it.
Indeed.
Let's grab it. Can you blast this place? Can you set this place to blow?
I think I can handle it.
I'll go over to the Y-wing and see if there's some way of overloading its hyperdrive. or-
Totally, yeah. Just go ahead and make a computer's check, please.
I mean, as long as it can irradiate half the planet, that's the goal.
Yeah.
We are still on half the planet.
I did not
You
succeed.
did not. You think you've set it to explode soon. Yeah, you think you did it.
I think I did it.
Yeah,
But
sure do.
I did get one advantage.
You did, yeah.
Okay.
That's why you think you did it.
I think I did.
That seems like a
Yeah,
disadvantage.
this is a disadvantage.
You feel positive about
Feel
it.
positive.
Okay.
Feel good about it.
All right, let's
Cool.
make waves. Let's grab that mech.
Cool. You run over to the astromech droid. It has orange accents. It's obviously an R2. It's like it exploded out of the rubble and flew behind the bar and crashed into a bunch of kegs and drinks. And it's just covered in Teresian ale and Corellian brandy at this point. As it's
Time to do bot
It's
shots.
like bot shots. Exactly. But it definitely looks like it's beat up for sure.
All right, do you think we can move this thing?
I mean, how heavy are these? I mean, can you
They're
guys
not
actually...
that heavy. Anyone with probably a brawn of 3 or 4 could probably carry this thing if they needed to.
Yeah, I got that.
Cool. Kale probably seems the one who could
All
probably
right,
heft
so I
this
can
thing up.
have to drag it pretty.
Yeah,
pretty good.
it is encumbering for you to grab it, but
Yeah.
you're fine to run
Yeah.
with it.
I strapped my lifting belt on.
Yes. Sweet. You grab the
Use your knees.
You grab the droid and you guys run to the secret tunnel. As you're making your way through the secret tunnel into the store, you can definitely hear the sounds of feet above you, probably tromping on the streets. Yeah, but you're easily able to make it into the lamp store, the glow rod store that you had found your way through the smuggling tunnels to earlier. You know that you have a safe house that is nearby as well.
Do you want to try for the safe house, or do you want to try and call your contact to see if we can get a ship, or is that just a bad idea?
I wouldn't bring a ship near here.
No, that's true. I think we need to try
It
and
might
bar.
explode.
We might need to bar the door just to slow them down if they try to come through the tunnels. And
Let's do it. Can you get this droid in shape so we don't have to carry it around?
Sure, I will try and...
Totally. Go ahead and
will
make
give it a go.
a mechanics check, please.
And in the meantime, I'll start
Be an
dragging
average
shelves
check,
and
too.
crates of stuff
I help you.
above the
Yeah, you
the
guys
door.
are
Yeah, we're
blocking
trying
the
to block
entrance
the entrance just to make it-
Of the
crates.
trapdoor
You have
tunnel
the
that we
trap
can-
door. Tendar's working on the droid.
I succeeded?
You are able to fix the droid, so he can sort of move on his own power now, as wheels sort of come out from his bottom and his 2 little legs as he's like, and just starts following you guys around. His operating number is R2 AP. He's like,
All right, do we want to try
he
and
stays near
sneak?
to Tendar. He's sort of like a little sort of arm comes out and sort of pats Tendar on the leg.
I'll pat him fondly on the head.
All right, do we want to sneak out of here, or do we want to try and go with cover that we're escorting this rebel to jail?
That's right, because you also have Tracer, the pilot, with you, the rebel pilot.
And
He's beat up in
we
his,
didn't
his,
grab
in his flight suit.
any outfits. We didn't grab any stormtrooper, snowtrooper stuff. So, do we want to pretend he's still?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's strip him.
What?
What?
Is there any? Do we see any other clothing or anything that we can at least get him out of the rebel uniform?
That's like a work uniform
suit?
for this
Yeah.
glow store, like
Yeah, like a maintenance uniform, sure.
or even just like a shopkeeper's, like.
I think you guys can
button
make
up.
skullduggery checks if you wish. Indeed, you are able to find one.
Oh yay!
Yeah. Zal is able to find one. It looks like it's really dirty and beat up. It looks like it's probably meant to either be trash or maybe to be laundered. Who knows? Yeah, you're definitely able to find one. Tracer changes out of his obvious orange rebellion jumpsuit and changes into more of sort of like a real denim gray blue maintenance coverall. And he says, "All right, I don't have any IDs, but this should at least
Well,
visually."
I think our cover story should be that we are guards who are escorting him because we found the civilian out when he's not supposed to be.
Well, why
Because
don't
you
we-
and I are still in the uniforms.
Why don't we light this building on fire and run out of it? Like, help, help.
Why don't we just try to walk to the safe house and see what happens?
I know, but I just want to clear our cover story before we go. Is that if we're heading towards the safe house, if we get stopped, we're escorting these civilians who have been found out on the streets. We're trying to get we've taken them into custody for questioning.
All right, let's see if it works.
Do we have to worry about the
We
droid?
just broke curfew.
Right, exactly. You guys broke curfew, but we're still in uniform, so we're still officials. So
Let's do what we can.
okay.
Cool. Yeah, your group starts to move through the streets, trying to stick to some back roads. You are stopped by some snowtroopers, but your cover story totally flies with them. They seem to be more distracted by rebels who are attacking the asteroid cantina, but they also seem to be very, very distracted by something else. And that something becomes very clear to you as all of you feel a very cold sort of presence, colder than the snow that's swirling around you. You see a large Imperial ship that is landing near where you had just come from, the blasted asteroid cantina. And though you are many blocks away, you do see the tall and imposing figure of Darth Vader stride down the ramp of this Imperial ship as he swoops into the not exploded, unfortunately, blasted asteroid cantina to survey what damage there is. Your group is able to make it to the safe house. Before long, a rebel ship appears to whisk you and Tracer all away from Trivor 2.
So with that, our story ends. We'll return again with a new tale to spin to dare to entertain.
Oh, we survived. I was like, wait, Darth Vader? No, we don't have to go against him, do we? I'm not that good with a blaster.
Yeah, it's funny. The adventure says that Vader's like supposed to be the countdown clock, right? Like if once he shows up, the adventure is over.
Oh,
like,
okay.
You just die. You guys die basically if Vader shows up and you
Before we actually
and you
got out.
engage him. Yeah. Yeah. But you did great. This was a great adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was
Star
very
Wars.
fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a great
definitely.
system. And thanks, Board Ghosts, for bearing along with us as we try our first sort of Sith
DM
Lord.
adventure.
I mean DM
That's how
adventure.
Sith lorded over.
Sith Lorded over.
I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Joho. Where can people find you, Stacy?
They can find me on Instagram at Stadamo.
All right, Steve.
I can be found at stephenmoverly.com.
All right, and Ken, where can people find you?
I'm Ken Breeze. You can find me at Burling's Beard. And I'm even having a little bit of a hope that we might maybe see these characters again someday. Who knows? But
fun.
for now, talk with me at Burling's Beard at Twitter, BERLINGS Beard.
All right. To learn more about the players and engine in our story, visit boardghost.com. You can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us at BoardGhostWorld on Twitter. Shout out through the ether if you have desires we can fulfill. Leave reviews and comments on iTunes, your preferred listening portal, and please take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, or has it been forever? 'Cause dying don't agree with me, no. 'Cause dying don't agree with me.